Chief Engineer Marcus Tank Rodriguez had been tinkering with impossible machinery for exactly 47 minutes when the Galactic Enforcement Cruiser Sovereigns will pulled the human cargo hauler Lucky Strike out of hyperspace with a gravity well that could crack moons. "Attention, primitive vessel," came the transmission, dripping with the kind of arrogance that made Tank's jaw clench. "You are in violation of Galactic Statute 4471. B. Unauthorized technology modifications. Prepare for inspection and immediate confiscation." Captain Lisa Chun didn't even look up from her coffee. "Tank, how's that little project coming along?" "Almost ready, Skip," Tank called from the engine bay, where he'd been performing what could generously be called creative engineering on their ship's quantum core. "Just need another minute to bypass the safety protocols the hegemony built into our systems." The thing about humans that other species never quite grasped was their relationship with the word impossible. Where other civilizations saw barriers, humans saw interesting puzzles. Where aliens saw forbidden technology, humans saw homework. "You have 30 seconds to comply," the enforcement captain continued, "or we will disable your vessel permanently." "Ooh, disable our vessel," Tank laughed, his hands dancing across jury-rigged control panels that definitely weren't in any galactic manual. "That's adorable. Hey, Skip, remember when they tried to disable the Crazy Horse last year?" "You mean when Jimmy turned their entire fleet into a light show?" Chun grinned. "Good times." The enforcement ship fired. Their quantum disruptor, a weapon designed to shut down any known propulsion system, struck the Lucky Strike dead center. Nothing happened. Well, that wasn't entirely accurate. Something did happen. The Lucky Strike began to glow. "A tank," Chun called, watching her instrument panels light up like Christmas morning. "Please tell me that's supposed to happen." "Oh, it's better than supposed to happen," Tank replied, emerging from the engine bay with grease-stained hands and the kind of manic grin that usually preceded controlled explosions. "See, the thing about quantum disruptors is they're designed to interfere with standard galactic technology." The Lucky Strike was no longer glowing. It was radiating energy that made reality hiccup around its hull. "We don't use standard galactic technology," Tank continued conversationally, as their cargo hauler began moving through space in ways that violated several laws of physics. "We use human technology, which means we took their fancy quantum disruptor beam and turned it into the galaxy's most expensive battery charger." The enforcement ship tried to retreat. The Lucky Strike followed, casually keeping pace despite the fact that their pursuer was supposedly 3 generations ahead in engine technology. "This is impossible," came the panic transmission. "Your vessel cannot." "Cannot what?" Chen interrupted, watching her tactical display show weapon systems that definitely hadn't been there 10 minutes ago. "Cannot retrofit a cargo hauler with dimensional fold generators? Cannot jury-rig a quantum cascade amplifier from spare parts and pure stubbornness? Cannot turn your own weapon into our power source?" Tank's voice drifted from the engine room, accompanied by the sound of someone having way too much fun with dangerous technology. "Skip, I've got the temporal stabilizers online. Want me to fire up the reality anchor?" "Reality anchor?" Chen raised an eyebrow. "Something I've been working on. Basically locks local space-time to whatever configuration we want. Very useful for making sure the laws of physics work in our favor instead of theirs." The enforcement ship's weapons opened fire. Plasma cannons that could level cities, antimatter torpedoes that could crack planets. The Lucky Strike absorbed every shot, its hull shimmering as Tank's modifications converted incoming fire into raw energy. "You know what the best part is?" Tank called out, his voice cheerful as he performed miracles with technology that shouldn't exist. "They built all these safety limits into our systems to keep us primitive species from getting too creative." The Lucky Strike began moving in directions that didn't have names, its modified engines bending space around them like origami. "But here's the thing about humans," Chun said into the comm. addressing the increasingly